Okay, awesome. We're live. All right, guys, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I missed every single one of you while we were gone, and many of you were subject of conversation, so you may have heard your ears buzzing as we were talking very wonderfully about each of you, to our fellow leaders, to Ryan, to Nick, to Blake, to Kyle, just Jason. I mean, it was just an incredible experience for us. Especially because when we are allowed to have that intimate time, it really helps us understand what it means to have vision and what it means to be a true entrepreneur. True entrepreneurs don't, do something for 3 months, 5 months, 6 months and go, oh, I'm calling it in, I'm throwing in the towel. Anyone who wants to go to mastery, it's 10,000 hours. I mean, that is the standard, 10,000 hours to mastery. Well, if you're building something full time, that's 5 years. And so when you think of it in those terms and you go, okay, how many hours have I truly put in? Am I close to mastery? Or did I put in a good 3 months and took off the 4th month, or put in a good 6 months and took off the last 6 months? I mean, you know your story. But I know our story, but I also know that we often want to throw in a towel a little early because we live in this microwave society of, wait a second, I need to have immediate success. I've been here for a whole 30 days. I've been here for a whole 90 days. I've been here for a whole 120 days. When a true entrepreneur understands that it is a 2 to 5 year plan. And when you think of that as a 2 to 5 year plan, you go, okay, wait a second, I'm beating myself up way too much. I have a learning curve. I've never done this before. And where's my head at? As entrepreneurs, we constantly have to check our head, because if your head is right, everything happens correctly. If your head's off, nothing happens correctly. But I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that we've learned because we did have to sign a major non-disclosure because there is a major product launch at our January 2nd and 3rd. So January 2nd and 3rd is a very, very big date. And Matt's going to talk about every market's going to have January 2nd, 3rd events, whether they're in a hotel or in someone's home. But that's going to be our resolution rally. I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that I took away with. And one of the things was, setting expectations, setting real expectations for not only ourselves, but for those that we lead. And that's something that, I'm sure I'm guilty of. I'm sure that when we see these really fast stories, to ND or PD, that it makes us feel like, okay, I'm failing my team. Like they should be doing all these things, but we don't know the backstory. I'm sure Matt and I going 5-star ambassador in 45 days was a benefit and a detriment to people because they thought that's a very high expectation. But I think as leaders, we do have to set that expectation and know that this is a journey. This is a journey of growth. This is a journey of understanding. Yes, you can make great income along the way, but we often tend to want to beat ourselves up if we're not an ambassador in a month. I met Kay Hyde, who was 4 years to ambassador. She's someone who stuck it out, went through the ebbs and flows of any business, and today she's a 6-figure earner and a pretty good shareholder because she went to ambassador. We talked about the culture we're creating in Vi and how this is going to be a major point of understanding for every single one of us. We as the leaders create the culture. So what is the culture that we truly want to create? One of the greatest ones that stood out was just truly leading with love and leading with a mutual respect for each other. And of course, we've always seen that, always knowing that, focusing on what we want, not what we don't want, and serving so that we may lead. You're going to be seeing a lot of things about the culture that we're creating in Vi. And they also, I'm encouraging every single one of you to take time, over the next 2 weeks and write down everything good that has happened this year. Everything. What are you grateful for? What are the things that I'm so excited about? What are the things that impacted me in a positive way? This is something that I like to do daily. I do it in the morning. But, we like to look back on our year and say, what are we grateful for? What are the things that really were awesome? And this was something that we had to physically do over this weekend. Also, what are the things I can improve on? That's self-evaluation. And what are the things that I personally can improve on as a leader, as a person, as a spouse, as a parent, whatever roles we all play. How are the things that I can improve? And then, what's the goal storm? What do I absolutely want to achieve for 2016? And really have a mind dump. You can do big things like Matt, when I think of a goal storm, I think of, this is massive things. I mean, I will go crazy just writing. But then we back that up and go, what can I realistically achieve in 2016? Nick is a great example of, he wants to fly to the moon. Well, that's not going to happen in 2016, but that is on his goal storm list. And so what are the big dreams you have, but what are those smaller dreams that you have, for 2016? Tony Lucero, who is obviously a very heart-driven leader, he understands how energy works. He understands what we put out, we give back. And it's very true to how I feel. It's not what you're thinking about that is going to come into your life. It's really how you're feeling that's going to come back to you. If you're feeling excited about your goal, if you're feeling enthusiastic, if you're feeling awesome when you say, hey, I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to be an equity holder by this quarter, or you saying, oh my God, I got to get my equity done. That's not the right feeling. Okay? Stress, doubt, fear are not the feelings you want to put forth. You want to put the feelings out of what's it going to feel like when you achieve that goal. And he really gave us a course on that of, him and Rhonda intentionally focus on how are they feeling, because they know the more they feel that way, the more abundance comes their way. And they're a true testament to how this has worked in their life. And it's a great lesson for us to understand that feeling is going to come back to you. And so if you think about the ultimate goal or the ultimate wish that you have, how is that going to make you feel? You have to hold on to that feeling as you're going throughout your day, because you will attract more of that to you. Too many of us get caught up in our head, or we let our head take us off course. We let our head take us down the negative path. And then all of a sudden, why are we getting more negative? Why am I getting more negative? It's truly because our feelings are off. So, but that was an excellent class. We also really are going to expand on this VET system. I think, VET is the system, meaning it's the business school for entrepreneurs, providing a well-defined path for promoters. This is going to continue to evolve in the sense of, if someone in my team has a question about a particular subject, I'm going to be able to reference a few video content or a few things in there to go, check out this, this, and this. Because if you are the shell answer man, you will always be the shell answer man. But if you can lead people to someone who is an expert in that field, someone who is an expert at PQV. I am not an expert in PQV. I'm getting better. Matt and I are top PQV in the ranks right now and month to date. I've just checked. Don't ask me how, right? So, but because we're focusing on weight loss season. We own a weight loss business. Guess what? So do you. But I'm going to reference them to someone who's an expert in that field, and that's what they're creating. This is going to continue to grow and evolve and get better, because they know with tools comes information, comes knowledge, comes confidence. With confidence, more activity happens. With more activity, more results happen. With more results, we create better habits, and then we have long-term success. And it all comes from that tool of the VET systems. Why do we need VET? As a business owner, we need a system. And systems make successful businesses work. So you're going to be hearing the leadership reference VET. And as leaders, I encourage you to reference VET more often, because you don't want it. The show has to go on in your absence. And the only way the show can go on in your absence is if you're plugging people into a system that will allow them to continue to grow when maybe you're off working in another team or off working into another area. What we know as leadership is that the longevity of a promoter is reflected upon the expectations that we set. And so what are the expectations are we setting? Are we setting the microwave society of boom, boom, boom? which creates frustration if someone doesn't achieve within 30, 60, 90 days? Or are we creating an understanding of this is a long-term business? You're wanting a long-term sustainable business. We have to build it long-term and sustainably, because people will quit anything for any reason. I mean, people quit things all the time. But if we're setting the proper expectations and allowing them to grow into their business, then we are doing them a great job. I'm going to talk to you really quickly about VI Commit. So I want all of you to have an understanding of the dynamics of this and how it really works. First of all, if you read the directions, it makes it much easier. But we are not starting our VI Commits until January 2nd and 3rd. We're putting them out there with the if I don't, like Matt, what's your goal? I want to lose what?
15 pounds.
He wants to lose 15 pounds. And if he doesn't, he's going to dress and drag at the NST in April in Orlando. Now, that freaks me out in itself, okay? So, but it does create buzz, okay? These VI Commits are supposed to create buzz. Our job right now is to just get our promoters and our customers to commit to their VI Commit, but we're not starting until the resolution rally. We're not starting till January 2nd and 3rd. That made me happy because I'm still in my loading phase over the holidays. No, just kidding. I'm still growing. But what's really interesting about this is that there are specific instructions on how to do this, okay? Very specific, meaning when we do our VI Commits, and of course these are going viral, and I encourage, if you're a leader, you need to do your VI Commit. And I know many of you have done it. Some of you haven't done it yet, okay? So, who are you leading? What are we doing? So do your VI Commit, hashtag VI Commit. If I'm gonna lose this, if I don't, this happens. But the fun thing about that is this is an opportunity for us to create the buzz through your existing promoters, but also encourage your customers to do the same. But there's our specific instructions, meaning you're going to take a picture of yourself holding up day one. You're going to do this on January 2nd or 3rd. Day one picture. Then you're going to have side by side holding up day 1 and 30. Then you're going to have day 1 and 60. So we're going to do a 90-day challenge from January 2nd and 3rd. The dynamics that come from this is you're going to hashtag VI Commit. The 4th month is free, meaning they're going to dump. If you're on the transformation kit, you're getting $249 in product points in the 4th month just because you completed your 90-day challenge. So this is huge for customers. This is huge for promoters because they're going to give you all those product points, and they're going to donate to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America the 90 meals. So there's a lot of advantage here. I'm going to talk to you about the list that we sent you. That's our action plan. That does not necessarily need to be your action plan. Matt and I plan on earning millions of dollars and being massive shareholders in VI. Your goal may be different. I didn't send that to you to intimidate. I sent that to you to go, this is what we're doing. We're running the numbers because we understand we own a massive global weight loss business, and now is not the time to slack. This is the time to set up. This is the time to lay foundation. Obviously, we're going to drive I Commit through our team. We are going to reach out to all of our personal customers and the customers that we have through Roll Up. This applies to some of you. This may not apply to all of you. Now, understand the win back that they're running, it doesn't start till the 16th. The win back that they're running is a 50% off challenge kit plus a free sample of every new product. Many of you who've been around a while have promoters and customers that have maybe fallen off the VI wagon. This is the perfect time to get them back. I am reaching out to older promoters that may have taken a sabbatical, and if they're not ready to build, I'm still getting them on the win back. Are you guys hearing me correctly on that? So for those of you that have been around longer, like I'm going to reach to them and say, hey, now is the time. We got one more year of equity. If they say, I'm not ready to build, I'm not sure I want to build, my timing isn't right, well, that's okay. You haven't been on a product in 90 days. A promoter can take advantage of the win back. So I'm going to get them on the product and get them a sampling of everything free. Now, if I get that person onto VI Commit, which will be fun, they get their 4th month in product points. So it's an advantage to all of them. We also talked about how many personal prospects we're reaching out to. We shared with you the EPSs we're going to enroll and the customers we're going to enroll. Those are our numbers. Those don't necessarily have to be your numbers. The question is, how bad do you want it? I mean, that's the bottom line. How bad do you guys want it? What do you see here for you? Our goals are not your goals. Your goals are not my goals. We're going to support you and love you and respect you and cherish you and lift you up wherever you see yourself. You see yourself building an extra part-time business, great. If you see yourself being a leader here in Vi and helping us with our global expansion, great. If you see yourself as a top shareholder, great. You have to decide where you see yourself, and your action has to match that. So Matt's going to set up one-on-one time with each and every one of you today and tomorrow. We're going to schedule some phone time with each of you to really find that out and to find out what it is you truly want. What are the things you're willing to do to get what you want, so we can get those two on track? Because if you're wanting the sky, but we're only doing this, then we're going to have imbalance. So let's get it in line. Let's set the right expectations. Let's help you build your business wherever you want to build it. And we're excited for everything that's going to be happening in December. For those of you in Chicago, please let me know if you're going to be attending our holiday open house. This is strictly a party. It's from 2 to 6. You can arrive anytime within that time. Bring people in your team, bring customers. For those that want to stick around later on that evening, I will be doing a couple challenge hours because I personally will be doing that. If you guys want to stick around, you're welcome to do that. That's not required. If you leave. It doesn't matter, but I'm excited for that. So just let me know if you'll be coming. That's all I got, guys. Gotta go.
That was a mouthful.
I know.
All right, couple of questions for you. One is, how many of you have had prior network marketing experience before Vi that was productive or successful, or that was? I know Mike, Tony Sherman. Why don't you guys unmute your phones for a minute? Jesus, you did too, right?
Yes.
All right, Tony Sherman, you did?
Not network marketing, but traditional business.
Okay, I thought you had some ACN time. Was that your dad?
No, that was a friend of mine that did.
Okay. And then Lauren, you did? And Monica Smith, you did? So there's
I
actually
did a little bit, but I don't know if I'd call it successful. Legal Shield.
Okay. So there's 4 of you that actually worked a network marketing program prior to Vi that had some experience. And that some of those experiences are positive, some of them were negative, some of them are assets, some of them are distractions because of the different systems, different styles of businesses. But when you look at this, there's a leadership team here of 10 of you. There's 12 of you supposed to be on here, so a dozen people, and there's only 4 that have any experience. So when you guys are thinking about, this isn't going fast enough, I'm not getting there, I'm struggling, I'm this, I'm that, and when you tend to go negative, which happens at the end of the year because the customers get harder to corral up because of the holidays and distractions. I want you to think about this, is that, Malcolm Gladwell talks about the 10,000 hours to mastery, and, 2,000 hours a year for 5 years, 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year. That's full-time mastery, that most of you are still doing this part-time. And that if you're part-time, how many hours did you put in last month? How many hours did you put in the last quarter? How many hours? Go back and do inventory this year as you check out what you accomplished in 2015 and set up to reset and establish your goals for 2016. If you have not already started doing this, please start immediately sometime. Take an hour a day before you go to bed and start doing a review of the year. Go through your Facebook page, go through your planner, go through your journal, go through your notes from vision calls, go through your notes from Zoom webinars like this, and add up, what did I accomplish this year? You might not be able to put together how many hours you put in, but you'll get an idea of what you accomplished, and I think you can get close to what you did in your hours, and realize that if this is your second year, your first year, Vi's a 1-year-old company right now. We just finished our first year since the founders bought the company back. And what they did was, when they went from being a public company controlled by Blythe, they went now to a private company controlled by Nick, Blake, and Ryan. They're only 1 year deep into that. So we're a 1-year-old company with 9 years of prior experience. You guys, many of you are 1 year old being in this company or less. And so don't beat yourself up. Celebrate what you've done and then make adjustments to do more next year, to be better. And we got to do that, because if you don't set a goal that's achieved ceases to motivate. And if you have no goal, you have no direction, you're adrift. RDs and above, which is all of you, January 2nd and 3rd, we will have an event in downtown Chicago that Vince is putting together, and I'll have an event that John and I are going to do in the suburbs. One will be on the 2nd, one will be on the 3rd, so you'll have 2 to plug into. Mikey, you'll have to do your own down in Arkansas. Lauren, you'll need to get with Tony and team and Matt Cahill and them, set them up in Milwaukee. My thought is, if you got to drive over an hour to get to your event, you should have your own event at your house. And you'd be better off having 3 or 4 promoters and 10 or 12 guests, 3 or 4 each, in your home, than to you get in your car with 1 or 2 promoters and drive an hour and have no guests go with you because it's too far away. You're going to be able to zoom in. I'll be getting you all the detailed information. If you can tie into a big meeting, the synergy is always better. If you're in a market where there is no big meeting, create a living room meeting. You don't have to spend a lot of money to do this, but I would set it up so it hooked up to my TV and my sound system so that everybody had a positive experience. I would get them a little early. I would teach them some things, get them settled, watch the Zoom, and then do challenge hours immediately after to start gathering customers. We're going to go into do the Buy Commit program. If you guys will get your Buy Commits up now, and Buy Commit isn't post it once and forget about it for 3 weeks. Buy Commit is I'm posting it every week from now until January 2nd, so that the people that missed it last week will catch it this week. And I'm posting it at different times of the day each time I post it. So I'm gathering interest of people that go, what are you committing to? I go, give me a call. Let's get on the phone. Also, January 8th, 9th, and 10th is the leadership, the New Year leadership release in Troy, Michigan. Don't think about it. You got to be there. There's going to be new technology coming out on January 2nd. You're going to need to be there on the 8th to learn how to use it so that you can teach your team. There's going to be a new product talked about on January 2nd. You'll be able to taste it, buy it, take it home, and start on it on January 8th as the leaders. The rest of them, it won't even ship until after the 10th. So a lot of moving parts, a lot of things going on. Make sure you're up to speed. Make sure that you pay attention to the vision call tonight. They're going to be talking about the December winbacks for people that have customers. John had touched on that. You want to capitalize on that. It starts day after tomorrow on the 16th. There's also a winback for prior purged promoters, all kinds of stuff. And we're going to be talking to the NDs and above about that this week. So if you are an ND or above, make sure you give me a call. Now, I'd like to set up a 15-minute phone call, maybe 20 with each one of you. So text me the best time for you today, and I'll make it work. As soon as we get off this call, look over your day and go, I can do it at noon, I can do it at 5, I can do it at 7, I can do it at 10. Just don't do it during the vision call, and then I'll make it work out. Probably best if you give me 2 times, because some of you will pick the same times. And then we'll spread it out and make it happen. Jonna and I are going to be talking to you over the holidays about a program called Strength Finder. Don't worry about it today. Just be aware that it's a Gallup poll type Strength Finder program. We had a Strength Finder coach with us this weekend. We learned a lot about ourselves. You're going to see some adjustments from both of us because we learned the things in our strengths that were positive and the things that are strengths that were detrimental to the growth of the team, and we're making those adjustments. So if you're an RD or above, I want you to do Strength Finder. The cost of the program is $15. It's inexpensive. You do it online, and then I want you to share it with us so that we can. Yeah, I know what they're doing. So, but this is just for you. I don't want you guys to share this with your team. I don't want your team to get lost in trying to figure out who they are. This is an important time of year for them to set a goal, do their VI commits, and start gathering customers for January 2nd, or they're going to miss weight loss season. Don't get your team distracted with other stuff. This is just for me and you. It'll take you 15 minutes to take the test. You're going to share your results with me so that I can establish leadership roles in the team more efficiently in your strength zone. We'll talk about it later. The vet. Jonna mentioned vet. I think we're very much under-promising, under-delivering, discussing, under promoting vet. We need to do a better job of that. Nick told us a year ago, give me 2 years, 1 year to build it and 1 year to fill it, and you'll have the best training module in the industry. I think we already do, and we haven't even completely filled it yet. All of the leaders that were at the mastermind are diligently filming new training segments so that you'll have more content zeroed in specifically on what you need to help your new guy get productive and get a fast start, whether it be a customer or a promoter. So that is going to be one of those things that you got to get in the habit of mentioning in every conversation. It helps give you layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of positive reinforcement to help your new guy overcome the objections, the negativity, and the resistance that they get in their first week or two in business. And it's going to be great stuff for you guys as you go through your ebbs and flows of the year. When you're in an ebb, get into vet, and it'll help you leverage your time and your efforts. And then action steps. I think it's important that this time of year that you do a mind dump. What did I accomplish in 2015? What do I want to change in 2016? I want you to set some goals, and I want them to be big, bodacious, audacious, over-the-top goals, because if you shoot for the moon and you miss, you end up somewhere in the stars. So shoot big. Don't aim small, because if you aim small, you're going to hit small, and then who cares? So aim big, and I'd rather aim big and miss than aim small and get it. All right, so set some goals. Think and Grow Rich is an excellent book to reference for that, how to do it. Matter of fact, I would think that Think and Grow Rich would be a must-read for all of you in this Christmas holiday. You're going to have a few days where it's going to be impossible to get a hold of people, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. I would go ahead and dive into doing some reading during those days instead of wasting all that time going, hey, happy clappy with the neighbors who really don't give a shit. And then, focus on you this year. I want you to be rationally selfish about you. I want you to spend time on you. Why? Because if you do this right and you set your goals and you get yourself lined up mentally and emotionally and you take the proper action steps over the holidays, your January is going to be the biggest month of all of 2015. January 2016 could be your biggest income month that you've had yet in business. And now it's up to you. All you have to do is make the decision and then start the action and get the activity. So please text me what time you and I can talk individually. Don't miss the vision call tonight, and realize that your VI commit right now is the most important thing you have, because it'll draw a lot of attention from social media. If you have a website, put it on your website. If you have a LinkedIn account, get it on there. Put it on all social media aspects of your life. Get the word out that you're committing to something, and make your if I don't funny, because funny's money, folks. And if you do something funny, I can't tell you how many of my Army buddies are lining up to watch me dress and drag. It ain't happening. All right? Yeah, they're going to join the challenge, because what I'm telling them is, hey, you want to see this happen? Do it with me. And they're like, what? I go, get on a challenge. And they're starting to line up. So do it funny. Funny is money, and we'll have some fun together. But most importantly is stay focused on your activity, your goals, and your commitments to your excellence, because ultimately this is your life. And Jonna and I are going to move up. We're going to speed up. We're going to step up. We're going to go to a higher level. We're going to break 3 ambassadors in the first quarter of this year. We've been focused on helping people get to RD. Guess what? That's your job. All right? Now you got to pick up that ball. We're going to go into breaking ambassadors, digging through the teams. We're going to find 3 people to break to ambassador in January, February, March. I'm thinking it should be 3 of you, but if you don't want to do that, that's okay. I got 3 other people that'll step in a heartbeat, and you guys can watch. I'd rather you did it. You guys are our big boys and big girls, so time for a little red lipstick in your big girl panties. Men, time to reach down and grab a pair, and let's get after this. This is all about you guys. Love you guys, Jonna.
Well, we love you guys, and, set your action steps, really understand, what's in front of you. You own a massive weight loss business with the #1 challenge platform in the world. And so if you take ownership and you act like an owner, you treat your business like an owner, you treat other people like, hey, I'm in weight loss season. Wait, it's the holidays. No, I own a massive weight loss business, and it's almost as if I own a retail store. If I owned Marshall Fields, I'd be freaking working this time, right? Or Marshall Field's, Macy's. So this is the time, guys. We are going all out massive action. We want to help you guys do the same for your goals, for your commitments, for your lives. Set up the times with Matt, and we will talk to every single one of you soon. We'll see you soon. See you guys. Have a great day.
Got a question.
Bye.
Got a
Love
question.
y'all. See ya. Bye.
Got a question.
Yes.
What was that website, strength